It's been a tough week for South Africa. Actually, I think that's an understatement. It's been a traumatizing week for South Africa due to unrest that has seen over 210 lives lost and businesses and malls damaged. This is, of course, started earlier as pro-Zuma protests after he was arrested. One wonders what our neighboring countries and Africa as a whole are saying about this country now. To get a sense of how the picture looks like, let's discuss this with author and commentator Victor Kgomoeswana, also known to some people as an Afro-optimist. He believes in this continent. Ntate Kgomoeswana, good afternoon. Welcome to Upfront here on eNCA, DSTV channel 43. Just first up, when you saw what was playing out, I mean, we've thankfully, hopefully, we are also beyond the worst nightmare we've had since democracy in this country. What were your thoughts?
Daniel, it's an honor to talk to you. When I saw what happened, I thought about the centrality of South Africa. Although it's a country, it is still the largest economy, second only to Nigeria. If we go by IMF and World Bank numbers in GDP size, it's got some of the best infrastructures, the best legal judiciaries. Our accounting system is still top-notch. The banking system is still solid. It's still a top destination, both for professionals and tourists who are just coming to the country to either buy property, to do work. So when I saw what was happening, in the times when we need tourism, when we need to recover from the lockdown, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to South Africa, because believe it or not, the government still thinks very highly of South Africa.
Yeah, your network connection it was fine just a short while ago, but we're beginning to lose you. I hope it can last for this discussion, Victor. So the rest of Africa, how do you think they're looking at South Africa today?
I think they are panicking and they are worried. Still a leading economy. Remember, it's the role of the African Union. We have just come off from the chairmanship of the African Union with President Cyril Ramaphosa. We have lots of assistance South Africa is giving in peacekeeping missions, in peace and enforcement of peace in countries like South Sudan, in countries like the DRC. There's a lot of investment that is being channeled through financial institutions here in South Africa. There are lots of private equity and venture capital investments that are going from South Africa. There are lots of banks like Standard Bank, Nedbank, First Rand and Absa that are part of the financial services infrastructure. Not so long ago, if you recall, Vodacom was part of a consortium with Safaricom that won the bid to privatize Ethio Telecom, which is the mobile network operator in Ethiopia. We're talking a market of 100 million people. So if you just think about the significance of the country, the continent would be extremely worried, although we think of ourselves as just a country at the southern tip of the continent.
Victor, do you think they're looking at us as extremely worried and wondering what could have gone wrong? Do you think they're looking at South Africa as a failing state?
Remember, they talk about us as a better country, and by that I'm saying it with in quotation marks. They always will say to you, and I'm sure you trouble, they always say, don't go down the route of other African countries. That they mean you managed to negotiate a settlement in 1994. It is not perfect, but don't mess it up and end up being a failed state. So when they see us going the route of instability, wondering, okay, are they starting to fall apart at this time? What is going to be that country that is a paragon of stability and leadership on the continent? That is the part that most people will talk about. Because even with the xenophobic tendencies from time to time creep into our conduct, the African continent still see us as that example that you can move from oppression and colonial imperialism into democracy without necessarily breaking everything.
Victor Kgomoeswana, thank you very much. Unfortunately, your connectivity was not the best this afternoon here on Upfront on eNCA. He's, of course, an author, commentator, also known as an Afro-optimist, just giving us some of his views about how the rest of the continent is looking at South Africa today following that week, that nightmare of a week since the dawn of democracy.